Hi, I'm Rob Bernstein.
And I'm Marcia Eckert, and we're here to talk about April as Autism Awareness Month.
Right.
And the first thing I want to talk about, though, is what do we mean when we say autism? Many people think of autism as the way it's been described in medical literature as a neurodevelopmental disorder. And it's been referred to in very negative terms by some very prominent organizations.
It's a deficit.
Right. And what we're here to say is that there's a different way of thinking about autism, which is a difference. It's a different way of experiencing, of processing, and of thinking about the world. You know, when you think about it, we accept all kinds of diversity in people.
Right.
I mean, we have diversity in talent, diversity in skin color,
Height.
diversity in height. We have diversity in body styles. We have diversity in everything. So why does the way that our brains work and we process information and we think about information, why does that have to always conform in order to be okay? And one of the ways I describe autism is it's like another way of being might be a PC, and being on the spectrum is being a Mac. And a Mac is not a broken PC, and a PC is not a broken Mac. And so when we talk about people who are autistic, Stephen Shore once said that if you've seen one autistic person, you've seen one autistic person. Autistic people are quite different from each other, but it's a spectrum, and that's what we're talking about when we say Autism Awareness Month.
Right, so you have awareness, and then you have acceptance. You have to go a
Right.
step further. Without acceptance, awareness isn't enough. And when you say acceptance, it's a two-way street. The autistic person, has to feel accepted, have to feel
Right.
comfortable
Right.
in whatever environment, whether it's a school, non-judgmental. So that's a key.
And then I'd like to go to another step, okay, which is not just awareness and acceptance, but appreciation. And appreciation actually all the way to admiration, because autistic people have interests and talents and strengths that often benefit the world. Take the guy who invented Pokemon is autistic. Who else could have thought of that entire world? People like Sir Anthony Hopkins and Courtney Love and Elon Musk are all on the spectrum. That's not your typical idea of autistic, but people making contributions to the world. Sir Simon Baron Cohen, who has theories that I don't particularly think are that great, has ideas now about what he calls the pattern seekers, that the very detail-oriented, focused, systematic, analytic mind that is characteristic of the way many autistic people think is actually characteristic of inventors. And he thinks most inventors are actually autistic. And to quote him, autistic thinking is responsible for driving the progress of humanity. And that's not half bad, driving the progress of humanity.
That's pretty good. So then it comes down to, okay, this all sounds nice. Now like the fourth A of Stephen Shore is action. Awareness, acceptance, appreciation, and action. What do we do about it? So if you have a child that I'm thinking of, a client of mine, super talented, he writes his own songs, he gets it published on Spotify, he makes money from it, but he hates school. So if you have all these things of appreciation and admiration, why don't you, as a system, the school system or employment, whatever, why don't we say, wow, maybe we'll bring in a songwriter for English class to help this kid, or a poet. Why don't we really encourage? Why should the inventive mind be outside of the educational system? Why don't we encourage it?
And when I interview adults who have not been diagnosed because they don't look autistic,
Oh, I like this.
I interview people ranging from business executives and college professors and teachers and people in every walks of life, including psychologists, who are on the spectrum. But they experience a huge amount of stress. And one of the reasons that they experience a huge amount of stress, as autistic people will tell you, it's a very non-autistic friendly world. If autistic people have sensory issues, then this place is a sensory overwhelm, okay, and the kind of expectations people have of how people will act, or how fast people will respond, all those sorts of things are not autistic friendly. And so autistic people are often stressed and overwhelmed just making it through the day.
So instead of being encouraged to use their talents, their individuality, their inventive mind, they're trying to get through the day.
Right.
Whether at work or at school, I mean, that's the goal is to get through the day, and that's a shame.
Yeah, and so what we want to do is say, let's make this a more autistic-friendly world. When we both just spoke at a world conference, and usually in a conference when someone's given a speech, we clap. And that makes a lot of noise. In a conference where you're autistic-friendly, you do this, which shows appreciation but isn't so loud. So it's not so hard to be more autistic-friendly if we just think about it.
Well, that's a good start.
Right. So on behalf of Rob and myself, we'd like to wish you a good and a useful Autistic Awareness Month. And we'd like to say our best to everyone who is neurodivergent, to everyone who isn't. Happy April, everybody. Happy Autism Awareness Month.
Bye-bye.